crisis management team is a bit of an oxymoron in our opinion, because the word team, it's really an ad hoc working group at most organizations. They come together at the time of the event and they disband after the event, so it's not really a team. Do you have thoughts on that comment?
I still think that they're a team because they know they're supposed to work together, they have common goals, and so they appreciate the need to maintain common ground and to coordinate with each other. They're just not usually not a very good team.
So they're not an effective team, is a better way.
They're not an effective team, or they're going to be less effective than a team that's actually practiced this for a while and gets to know each other. So, but I resonate to what you say, because they don't feel like a team because they're just meeting each other for the first time, and so.
Also meeting under stress.
And meeting under stressful conditions, and so they don't know how how to read each other. There's a famous aviation study where they thought they were studying fatigue. And so they brought, like air crews. They don't always have the same air crew. They meet and then they fly together for a few days, and then they disband and form other teams. And so they got some pilots, commercial pilots, to come and be in the study, and they were going to give them like a full day, a full workout of all kinds of malfunctions in a simulator to see how they did. And the assumption is when they were performing the maintenance, the tasks and the emergency maneuvers, at the end of the day, they would be significantly different than at the beginning of the day, because they've spent 8 hours just being put through their paces. And in fact, they were significantly different. They were significantly better. And so they were supposed to be worse because of the fatigue, but what had happened during the 8 hours is that they had learned how to work together, and they had learned to interpret what each of them meant when they said certain things. And so that becomes important for a crisis management team. Is if you can practice together or get to know the people, great, but usually you can't. You're going to be thrown. It's like these pilots at the very beginning of the day, and that's the most critical part of an emergency. That's the golden hour, when all the most important decisions are going to get made. So what are you doing there? You're trying to size up who the people are, what you know about them, what you can depend on them to do, and changing the nature of your plan accordingly based on who you think they are. And you're going to probably have to adjust as you go along. And that's why many organizations like to rely on standard procedures, because then we can just sort of, get you out of the equation, have somebody else sit in your chair, read the same questions, and just follow the same steps, and have the people be interchangeable. And that, of course, assumes that all there is to competence is simply following the steps, and it misses the expertise aspect and the tacit knowledge. So it certainly helps us if we have a known doctrine. And so we can anticipate what the other person is going to need, and we don't have to be awkward. You don't have to ask me questions. I can anticipate you're going to need something, and I can start to prepare for it. But so the doctrine and getting these standard plays is extremely valuable, but it's not sufficient. It's not a substitute for sizing the people up quickly and knowing what they can achieve.
That's excellent. I mean, have a standard playbook, a standard play, some basic doctrines, but really, at time of event, they've really got to adjust the plan not only to the context of the situation, but the people that are in the room, on their experience, their expertise, their tacit knowledge and background.
That's the interior environment.
The interior environment.
Yeah,
it's excellent.